Hey guys, David here. Welcome to Digital Outlook, where you're gonna find the best community in all of crypto. In today's video, XRP is making history. So guys, without further ado, why don't we get to it? So guys, something has been going on over the past few days that has only ever happened once before in the XRP ecosystem. Guys, the daily active addresses for XRP between May 26th and May 29th shot up from 18,000 to over 490,000 active addresses. Now guys, this is a metric that is actually brought out by Sentiment, and it shows that a 2,600% increase in the active addresses for new wallets for this XRP ecosystem. And guys, that is absolutely phenomenal. When you consider that kind of volume, what are you really talking about there? Well guys, you're talking about sentiment, aren't you? And when you're looking at this ecosystem, what are the three things, the three factors that you're going to consider? Of course, there's fundamental analysis, there's technical analysis, and then of course there's the sentiment, the market tone, market analysis. And guys, it plays a massive role in this space. And what's happening as a result? Well, aren't we seeing a pretty decent spike in the price of XRP right now? Because I think at the time that I'm recording this, when I last looked, we saw XRP at a price above 51, almost 52 cents. And guys, when you consider it wasn't that long ago when we were literally struggling just to get from 38 to 40 cents, that is a major move. Now, what does that tell you when you look at those kind of metrics? Well guys, it tells you that there is a whole lot of buzz going around with respect to this ecosystem and what many folks are starting to believe what is about to happen. And most folks are believing that this case is already settled. It is actually over. And what we're about to see is either a major settlement between Ripple and the SEC, or we're about to see a summary judgment that gives Ripple a clear victory and XRP that legal clarity in this entire digital asset space. And guys, I'm telling you, when you start to see this ecosystem truly respond the way in which it can with its utility, guys, a lot of people are confused about what's really going to cause the price of XRP to pump. Now, certainly sentiment is going to be a major driver, as we're seeing right now. But the main issue is going to be when you see other organizations, not just Ripple, building on the XRP ledger and this ecosystem, because what the XRP ledger has the capability of doing, few ecosystems in this entire digital asset space have that kind of, ability and power behind it. You're talking about the ability to tokenize practically any asset class whatsoever. And on top of that, you're talking about a way in which a consensus algorithm works so that those transactions can happen within 3 to 5 seconds. It is truly phenomenal. And when you talk about scalability, because one of the big deals in this space is scalability, the XRP ledger has an amazing level of scalability, and you're talking thousands of transactions per second. And that is why it can give a run for its money to the SWIFT system, and that is why it can give a run for its money with all these cross-border payments, because it can do it cheaper, it can do it faster, it can do it more secure, it can actually do it in a way in which not only the message itself, but the actual value of the asset is being moved at the same time. And that is genuinely phenomenal. And when you start to see other organizations utilizing the power of the XRP ledger, and this whole thing starts really taking off, guys, you are going to see a level of price appreciation, in my estimation, that is going to make a lot of this, these sentiment moves, these FOMO moves that happen, look like absolute child's play. It is going to be, as people like to say, that I say, absolutely mesmerizing. I genuinely believe that, guys. I'm not just saying it for effect. I'm literally looking down the road at the future of this distributed ledger technology space and how it is literally, transforming the way in which the world genuinely works. And we're not talking about the transfer just of information and the transfer of value. But guys, we're talking about our digital identities, how we're literally going to interact with the world, and not just on a commercial level, but even on a social level. It is going to be truly amazing. And yet most folks out there, either they're totally oblivious, or when they do hear about it, they hear about it with all kinds of skepticism. I don't know, that can't be, da-da-da-da-da. Guys, I'm telling you, I've literally lived through it. I've literally seen it. Judy and I saw 100x returns in some of these assets in that last bull run. It transformed our lives. And I'm telling you, that's 10,000% increase. And guys, it happened in 1 year. Truly amazing. And we're watching some life-changing opportunities literally flash right before our eyes, and the majority of people are completely oblivious to it. It is truly, in my mind, it is truly amazing that they are not able to see it. So guys, I thought I'd take a pit stop just so I could show you this amazing, beautiful park out here in McKinney, Texas. Now, I just walked around this lake, and the path around it is absolutely beautiful. The lake itself is truly gorgeous. And just look at all the green space and fields. It is truly something else. I'll tell you what, you really got to get outdoors and genuinely enjoy all that's around you. And I sure hope you enjoyed that little stop. Now guys, when you see that kind of transactional volume on the daily active addresses go from 18,000 to over 490,000, that tells you right there a lot more people are becoming aware. And I really hope, guys, that the message gets out there to truly as many people as possible, because we are literally on the precipice of a absolute transformation in the way in which the entire digital economy works. But for those of us that have had the foresight to get in as early as we did, I genuinely believe that it has the potential to literally change our lives in a generational way. We're talking about probably the greatest wealth transfer in the history of mankind. I genuinely believe that. Now think about it from this capacity, guys. When that happens, when we see all kinds of folks piling in, and you start to get some major regulatory clarity and institutional adoption, what do you think is going to happen? Well, guys, the risk is going to come way down, isn't it? And when the risk come down, what comes down with it? Well, the reward. So who is the biggest benefactor in a transaction like that? Well, it's those that had the foresight to go out there really early on and be the pioneers to believe in this space and to get involved. And talk about having resolve, because guys, I'll tell you what, if you've been holding on to XRP for any length of time, then I give you some kudos, because the FUD that has been thrown our way has been astronomical. I mean, you name every kind of attack that this ecosystem has gotten, that, oh, well, it's a banker's coin. I remember those days. Oh, it's a banker's coin. It's against the fundamental principles of what distributed ledger technology is, and on and on and on. We got that kind of FUD. Then we got the FUD that, oh, well, it really isn't being used by the banks. And now we're seeing that that is a whole bunch of hooey and FUD, that they're actually out there not only being used by the banks, but are literally being adopted by central banks to build what? The evolution of money, central bank digital currencies. So all that FUD got out. Now we get all that FUD from December of 2020 there about, oh, well, it's a security and you don't know if you're going to be able to even hold it unless you're an accredited investor, and on and on and on. And now we're seeing, hey, that FUD is going to be put to rest. And guys, I'm telling you, if you've had the wherewithal to actually hold on and not get shaken out with all this FUD, I really believe that you are going to be rewarded, and handsomely. Guys, I saw it before. Look at what happened in December of 2020. And the SEC came out, they sued Ripple, and price of XRP dropped to what? 17.48 cents. Do you realize 4 months later the price was $1.97? That's an 1,100% return in just 4 months. That in and of itself should speak volumes. But the thing is this, guys, most people, when they deal in this space, especially because of course, hey, there's lots of volatility in it, what do? They buy into strength and they sell into fear. And why is that, guys? They do that because 100% of their confidence was based on someone else's conviction. And that's why I encourage you to go out there and do your research. Find out, hey, what is the real world utility? What are the potential utilities? Hey, find out who are the management teams in these corporations that are actually utilizing XRP and the XRP ledger. Then take a look at strategic partnerships. That is big. And then finally, guys, you're looking at price action. And what are you talking about when you're talking about price action? You're not just talking about what the price was, right? Or what it will be and all this kind of speculative stuff, guys. What you're trying to figure out there is you're trying to figure out, hey, from these fundamentals, what do I see down the road? Look at some other industries. What did we see in the internet boom there? When we saw companies like Amazon, and you could go out and just a few $1,000s into Amazon would have literally transformed people's lives in such a capacity that they would be no looking back. But most folks missed it. And why did they miss it, guys? They missed it completely because of their oblivious to it, or they had a bias towards it. And that's why they missed it. And most folks miss things because of that, because they really aren't looking down the road at long-term utility. What they're dealing with is kind of like what they feel and think right now. And crazy as it sounds, because it is kind of crazy, but most people are making those decisions based on emotion, based on sentiment, and that's it. And even in the comments, just read some of these comments down in here when it comes to XRP. Boy, the attacks are crazy, and they have no way to back it up. And then they'll come out with something like this: oh, if you only knew the tokenomics, then you would see that it's not even possible for XRP to ever hit those prices. Guys, they don't even understand the world money supply. And look, we had Larry Fink. Now, I said this before, but it really bears repeating. You have Larry Fink. Now, this guy is the CEO of BlackRock. BlackRock holds $13 trillion of assets under management, and I believe even about 5 trillion more in other alternative, companies that they kind of manage and things like that. Well, you think about this. He's sitting on stage, and I have a video clip for it. I'll try to find it and show you right on here, where he literally said the next evolution of these markets is the tokenization of securities.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Well, guys, when he said that, the whole world, all the stock exchanges in the world were valued at $89.2 trillion when he said that. This space was only valued at what, 900 billion? And do you think when all that value moves over that it's going to be divided equally among all these different distributed ledger technologies? Absolutely not, guys. There's only a few ecosystems that have the scalability and the power to actually take on that kind of volume. And I'll tell you what, XRP and the XRP ledger is one of the primary ones that has the ability to do it. Now, then you start talking about, hey, the International Monetary Fund and the Bank of International Settlements, and you're seeing all these central banks around the world looking to Ripple and looking at the XRP ledger and that technology, the consensus algorithm and how it works and all this and that. And they're absolutely going out there and making big time partnerships. And yeah, Brad Garlinghouse at the UAE FinTech Summit saying, hey, Ripple's committing 1 billion of their cash reserves to go out there and make strategic acquisitions and to help develop organic growth And you're telling me that you don't see a future? I'm telling you guys, it is going to blow the doors off of what most of us even imagine or expect. And it has the ability to truly change and transform lives. Now, back in the internet days, you know, when we were coming out with the internet and all that kind of stuff, we didn't have the ability to invest in the protocol like we do now, right? Because back then you couldn't invest in hypertext transfer protocol, but here you can literally invest in the protocol that is going to change the way the world works. And look at how the internet has revolutionized the way that we actually, you know, worked and interacted with one another. I mean, social media wasn't thought of when they first came out with it, but it came along, didn't it? All these other applications, it is truly going to be something else. And that's what we're about to see when people start building on this XRP ledger and this ecosystem. And you think sentiment is going wild now? You have seen nothing yet, but don't minimize. Guys, every little rung up the ladder is another step to when we realize those goals, when we absolutely see the implementation of all of this distributed ledger technology. And guys, I think what's going to happen is we're going to hit, you know, that fulcrum where the whole thing shifts and the balance is bam, and it's going to be sudden. It's going to be fast. It's going to feel seamless for most folks, just kind of like how, you know, these smartphones came into being. It seemed seamless. In fact, you had people, didn't you, lined up out the door to go get one of these things and pay $1,000 a pop or sign a 3-year contract just to have one in their hands. And I'm telling you, when you see the internet of value truly take off towards what it's genuinely meant to be, and you watch an ecosystem like the XRP ledger absolutely take front and center stage, it is going to be something else. And I'm telling you guys, we haven't yet seen all of the innovation that's going to be built on it. We haven't even scratched the surface. We're going to see inventions. We're going to see the application of this technology in ways that we haven't yet imagined. And it's going to be an amazing, amazing ride. So guys, with the way things are heating up in this space, one thing that you are gonna wanna have before this next bull run absolutely takes off is your plan in place. And what our coaching program offers, that is where you and I can meet personally one-on-one for 1 hour over Zoom. And during that time, I share with you our personal journey in that last bull run and what enabled Judy and I to experience some amazing financial success. I share with you the mistakes we made so that you don't have to fall into the same pitfalls we did. We take a look at your portfolio and make sure that it's balanced towards your goals, and we work together to develop your exit strategy. We can even get your assets off an exchange and onto a hardware wallet, along with delivering to you some amazing techniques that are really going to help you in this space. Now, the cost of that is $250, and if that's something that interests you, you write me right there at coaching@thedigitaloutlook.com and we'll get you all booked in. So guys, this is the video I have for you today, and as always, I truly hope that you enjoyed it. Now, many of you know I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice, but if you found value in it, if you'd hit that like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And hey, don't forget to put your comments right down there in the comment section and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of our regularly released videos. So, in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'll catch you in the next one.